Welcome to KMC TV. I am Afolabi Kende Hassan, and the program is Kmc Sport. We'll begin with action in the English Barclays Premier League as the league enters match day 2 this past weekend, and Chelsea defeat Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium by 2-0. Romelu Lukaku and Reece James with the goals. Arsenal have now lost as many home games in just 20 months under Mikel Arteta as many they have lost in 6 years under former manager, that is the person of Arsene Wenger. It is not looking very nice for the new Arsenal manager, Mikel Arteta. Manchester United were also held to a 1-1 draw at Southampton. Manchester City defeated Norwich City by 5-0. The Premier League, West Ham United defeated Leicester City by 4-1. In that match, Mikel Antonio became the top scorer in the history of West Ham United in Premier League. He has now scored 49 goals, overtaking Paulo Di Canio's record of 47. West Ham United are now top of the Premier League table with 2 wins from 2. Chelsea, Brighton and Hove Albion, Liverpool, Tottenham Hotspur are also on a good start. They've won their two games in the first 2 games, and Arsenal, Norwich City and Newcastle United, Burnley and Wolverhampton Wanderers have picked up no points, and they are currently at the bottom of the Premier League table. That's a very bad one for them. Still in the Premier League, Romelu Lukaku has now scored 114 Premier League goals. He becomes the 20th player. He overtakes Arsenal legend Ian Wright to become the 20th player to score in the top scorer in the history of the Premier League. And of course, he has now scored 50 goals both home and away in the competition, making him only the 8th player to do that in the history of the Premier League. And let's move to Spain, where we have the likes of course, Vinicius Junior, who came on as a substitute and scored 2 goals to rescue Real Madrid in a 3-3 draw against Levante in the Spanish La Liga. The Brazilian has now scored 3 goals in 2 Serie A games coming on as a substitute. He managed this tally in just 55 minutes. Impressive return from the young Brazilian there. And another player who has been very impressive right now in the new La Liga season is Sevilla's new sign, of course, former Tottenham player Eric Lamela. He scored 2 goals in his first game after coming on as a second half substitute. And of course, on Sunday, he rescued the 3 points for his side, scoring a 93rd minute winner in a 1-0 win over Getafe there in the La Liga. Another player who has been impressive is Angel Correa, of course. He scored 2 goals in the first game, and then in the weekend he scored another to seal the victory for the defending champions Atletico Madrid. Of course, Real Betis and Cadiz played out a 1-1 draw during the weekend. Deportivo Alaves lost at home to Mallorca. Granada and then Valencia shared this point. Of course, Barcelona were rescued by their new signing Memphis Depay, who scored his first La Liga goal for Barcelona in a 1-1 draw against Athletic Club Bilbao. Real Madrid played a 3-0 draw against Levante. Getafe lost at home 1-0 to Sevilla. Of course, that goal was scored by Eric Lamela. Eric Lamela has now scored 3 goals in La Liga. His best tally, of course, in the Premier League was 5 goals, and now he has at most 36 games to go in the Spanish La Liga to better that tally. So we hope he will be able to continue his good run and then better his own personal record in front of goal. Also, Atletico Madrid won 1-0 at home against Elche. And in the La Liga table right now, Atletico Madrid have won their 2 games. And in the La Liga standing, Sevilla currently, of course, they're leading the log. They've won 2 out of 2. Same with Atletico Madrid, but Sevilla are topping due to the goal difference. And at the bottom of the table, you have the likes of Rayo Vallecano, Getafe, Deportivo La Coruña, and Elche, who are yet to pick up a single point in the new La Liga season. Now let's move to the Serie A. During the weekend, Juventus were ahead to a 2-2 draw away out Udinese. Juventus were leading by 2-0, but surrendered the lead due to goalkeeping errors by goalkeeper Wojciech Szczesny. But however, in the closing stages of the match, Cristiano Ronaldo thought he had scored, a 94th minute winner, only for the VAR to rule out his header, and he was even shown a yellow card for taking off his shirt during the celebration. And of course, it was not a good start for Nigeria striker Victor Osimhen, who was sent off in Napoli's 2-0 win over Venezia during the weekend. And of course, he has now been awarded a 2-game ban by the Serie A, meaning he will miss the match against Genoa and of course Juventus. Napoli manager Spalletti has cautioned the Nigerian international to watch his behavior in future events, so that he would avoid such situation of ban and suspension. Also, it was a good start for former Chelsea striker, of course, Tammy Abraham, who registered 2 assists in Roma's 3-1 win over Fiorentina during the weekend. Of course, midfielder Joran Veretout scored 2 goals in that match to give Roma the victory. Jose Mourinho has now become the fastest manager to reach 50 wins in the Serie A. It took him just 77 games. That's a quite impressive return from the Portuguese manager. And of course, if you remember, he is the fastest manager to reach 50 wins. Fastest manager to reach 50 wins in the Premier League, and of course in the Spanish La Liga. And of course, he is one of the best in the game. That is why he is called the special one, and of course he is truly special. Now, when you look at the La Serie A table there, you've got the likes of Inter Milan. They won their game during the weekend by 4 goals to nothing. Of course, their new signing Edin Dzeko and Akan Çalhanoğlu are all impressive in their win. So they are currently top of the table. Also, AC Milan secured maximum points in their first game on Monday night, when Ibrahim Diaz scored the only goal in their 1-0 win over Sampdoria. Also, Atalanta also won their game during their opening game during the weekend. Muriel scoring a late winner in that one to give them the victory. Hellas Verona lost at home to Sassuolo during the weekend. Empoli lost at home to Lazio, of course, by 3 goals to 1. Torino lost at home against Atalanta. Muriel scoring the winner in that one. And Bologna beat Salernitana by 3 goals to 2. Juventus, of course, drew 2-2 at Udinese. Roma beat Fiorentina 3 goals to 1. Cagliari and Spezia shared the points in a 2-2 draw. And then Napoli 2-0 win over Spezia. The goals being scored by Elmas and of course Insegna, who missed a penalty before giving Napoli the lead in that one. And if you look at the table, yes, you have the as I said earlier, Inter Milan are top of the table by 3 points. Of course, they won their match, and by plus 4 goals, so that gave them the edge over their nearest rivals, who also won their match. The likes of Napoli, AC Milan, Lazio, and of course Atlanta and others who won their matches during the opening weekend in the Italian Serie A. And I'll move to the Bundesliga, where on Friday night, Dominik Szoboszlai, on his first ever Bundesliga start for RB Leipzig, scored 2 great goals, 2 fantastic goals in Leipzig 4-0 win over Stuttgart there in the Bundesliga. Szoboszlai joined Leipzig from, of course, the other Red Bull club Salzburg back in December 2020, and of course injury has kept him out of action, but then he is back this season and he is firing for his side. Good to have him back there in the Red Bull Arena. And of course, 2 goals by Serge Gnabry helped Bayern Munich to a 3-2 victory over Cologne during the weekend. It was not a good one for Borussia Dortmund after losing the German Super Cup in the midweek to Bayern Munich. They also lost during the weekend, a 2-1 loss away at Freiburg. Okay, when you look at the standing there in the Bundesliga, you have only Wolfsburg, have won their 2 opening games, and they are now on top of the table. A very deserved one. Bayern Munich, Bayer Leverkusen, Hoffenheim are all on 4 points, and of course Leipzig and Borussia Dortmund also on 3 points each. Now let's move to the French league, where on Friday night, PSG, Paris Saint-Germain won their game by 4 goals to 2 They are now currently on top of the standing there in the French league. And on Sunday night, the match between Nice and Marseille ended in a controversial fashion as the game was abandoned due to the fact that due to the clash between players and fans. It happened that the Nice fans threw a bottle at former West Ham United midfielder Dimitri Payet, and the Frenchman retaliated by throwing it back to the fans, and of course the fans did not take it well, so they stormed the pitch, and then the game had to be abandoned with Nice leading by a lone goal scored by Kasper Dolberg. And when you look at the standing there in the French league, PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, they've won their opening 3 games. Now they are now the only teams on 9 points. They are currently on a 100% start to the season without having the likes of Lionel Messi and Neymar, and of course Sergio Ramos. They are all yet to feature for them, but hopefully this weekend they will be in action for Les Parisiens. This is still KMC Sport on KMC TV. The Premier League clubs have decided not to release players for the upcoming international games. Of course, players that will not be released include players who are in the whose countries are in the red list of being hit by COVID-19. So the Premier League yesterday met and decided that players will not be released. Of course, the likes of Mohamed Salah will be affected due to the fact that Egypt are one of the countries listed by the UK among the red list. Of course, the same thing happened in the Spanish La Liga. La Liga have confirmed that they will support, of course, Spanish teams if they decided not to release players for the international games coming up. That is the CONMEBOL players. That is where the Spanish La Liga focuses on. And of course, for Arsenal, some good news coming from Arsenal, as the likes of Hector Bellerin, Alexander Lacazette, Gabriel Magalhaes, and of course Martin Odegaard will be available for their next game. That is the game coming up today in the Carabao Cup against West Bromwich Albion at the Houghton's Park. The players have been absent, some due to COVID and some due to injury. Also, Martin Odegaard visa issue that was the reason he did not play against Chelsea over the weekend has been sorted, and now he is available to represent the Gunners later today if he will be selected by coach Mikel Arteta. Of course, Mikel Arteta has been given 5-match ultimatum to get things right at Arsenal, or else he faces the fight to lose his job. The games will be against West Bromwich Albion, which is later today. Of course, they will play against Manchester City in the Premier League this weekend. And after the international break, they return. They will play Norwich. They play Burnley away, and Tottenham Hotspur, of course, in the North London derby right there at the Emirates Stadium will follow. Good news for FC Barcelona as Ansu Fati returns to training after months out on the sideline. The Spanish teenager was, of course, injured in a league game back in November 2020, and has not been able to represent Barcelona since then, and now he's back in training, and he is expected to be back on the pitch when Barcelona take on Getafe in the La Liga this coming weekend. Hopefully Ansu Fati will hit the ground running, will continue where he stopped, where he scored 5 goals, of course, in 10 games prior to that injury last November. So Barcelona will be hopeful that this player will continue to show his great form that saw him finish second in the Golden Boy in the last edition of the Golden Boy Award. Of course, still in Barcelona, Gerard Piqué was actually advised not to play against Athletic Bilbao over the weekend, but then he played and had to be substituted 30 minutes into the games. Now the player will not be available for the Barcelona match against Getafe this weekend, and Barcelona will be hopeful that this player will be back after or before the international break. And of course, still in Barcelona, Sergio Roberto and of course Sergio Busquets are ready to sign their new contracts, and of course they've accepted a substantial pay cut to help Barcelona during these trying times. The UEFA 2020 award will be given to Denmark national team captain and the medical staff who helped rescued Christian Eriksen during the European Championship match during the summer. Christian Eriksen, of course, collapsed while playing for his nation, and had to be protected. And this awarded to the captain of the Denmark national team, Simon Kjær, and the medical staff who helps rescue the life of Christian Eriksen when the player collapsed during the European Championship game. Of course, Christian Eriksen collapsed while on international duty during the Euros, representing his country, and these personnel helped play their part very well to help rescue the player's life, and they are set to be rewarded by the UEFA when the award will be handed out this Thursday, 26th August 2021. Of course, the draw for the UEFA Champions League group stage will also be made. And yesterday, Benfica take a bold step towards the group stage, and now they've secured qualification for the UEFA Champions League group stage. They beat PSV Eindhoven, and then Malmo also secured qualification. They better Ludogorets on after the on head-to-head after the two side met both in the first leg and the second leg, and of course, Young Boys progress at the expense of Ferencváros. Later today, action continue for the sports in the UEFA Champions League group stage. Of course, Brøndby will be at home against Salzburg. Dynamo Zagreb will be at home against Sheriff, and Monaco, after losing their first leg 1-0 at home against Shakhtar Donetsk, will travel to Ukraine to take on, of course, Shakhtar Donetsk for the return leg later today. And of course, in the transfer section, Chelsea defender David Zappacosta has joined Atalanta on a permanent contract. Of course, Arsenal's Lucas Torreira is also steps away from being announced as a new Fiorentina player. He will join on a season-long loan from the Premier League club Arsenal. Of course, Xherdan Shaqiri from Liverpool is signed for Olympique Lyon in a £9 million deal on a 3-year contract. Of course, Southampton have also announced the signing of Thierry Small from Everton. Real Madrid have extended the contract of Uruguayan midfielder Fede Valverde until 2027. The player now has €1 billion release clause on his current agreement with Real Madrid. Of course, Andy Robertson, of course, has also extended his stay at Liverpool until 2026. The agents of Donny van de Beek are not worried. The entourage of the player are not worried due to the lack of playing time for the player. They are not entertaining any bid from outside, because they believe this is the season for the player, even though the player was not selected by coach Ole Gunnar Solskjaer during the weekend 1-1 draw at the St. Mary's. Crystal Palace are also in talks with Arsenal over the signing of striker Eddie Nketiah. Arsenal believe the player is worth, of course, £20 million, while Crystal Palace believe they can only pay £10 million. Still some distance between two clubs before they will reach an agreement. Of course, we'll continue to look into that one. Chelsea are close to selling Kozuma, of course, to West Ham United. West Ham United have bidded for the player, and Chelsea have reached a verbal agreement with the buying club. So let's see what happens in the next few days before the end of the transfer window. Arsenal also in search of a right back, but then they will need to sell either one of their three right backs in the light of Hector Bellerin, who is the most probable to leave the Emirates Stadium, of course, before the end of the summer transfer window. Yesterday, news broke out that Real Madrid, have submitted a formal bid for French forward Kylian Mbappe, a €160 million bid to PSG Paris Saint-Germain. Of course, Kylian Mbappe has just a year left on his current contract with PSG, but of course PSG are reluctant to sell the player, and Real Madrid will continue to look into it if PSG will agree to sell the player. Of course, the player is interested in the move. It's been his childhood dream, and he wishes to fulfill it. So he is very much interested in moving to Real Madrid, even though PSG have acquired the likes of Lionel Messi, Sergio Ramos, and of course the rest during the summer. The player is not interested. He just wants to leave and join Real Madrid. Let's see how that works out in the transfer window. Of course, yes, the action in the Carabao Cup, and Millwall proceed to the next round after their 3-1 win over Cambridge. Morecambe lost at home to Preston. Of course, they are out of the tournament already. Nottingham also lost at home 1-0 to Wimbledon. Queen's Park Rangers defeated Oxford by 2 goals to nothing. They are into the next round. Sheffield United beat Derby by 2-1. Shrewsbury lost at home to Rochdale, and of course, it was a 2-2 draw between Wycombe Wanderers and Stevenbridge. Of course, Wycombe Wanderers progressed to the next round on penalties. Stoke City won 2-0 against Doncaster. They are into the next round. Watford United beat Crystal Palace through a late goal, and of course, Crystal Palace are now out of the competition. Wigan Athletic progressed at the expense of Bolton Wanderers after the game ended goalless. Wigan Athletic progressed on penalties. Leeds United beat Crewe Alexander by 3 goals to nothing. They are into the next round also. Norwich City trashed Bournemouth by 6 goals to nothing to progress to the next round. Oldham beat Accrington on penalties after the game ended goalless. Swansea City beat Plymouth by 4 goals to 1 to progress to the next round. Aston Villa beat Barrow away by 6 goals to nothing to progress to the next round. Birmingham lost at home to Fulham. Blackpool lost at home to Sunderland. Brentford beat Forest Green by 3 goals to 1. And of course, Brighton beat Cardiff by 2 goals to nothing to seal passage into the next round. Huddersfield Town lost 2-1 to Everton at home. And of course, Gillingham lost on penalties to Shetland. And of course, action continued in the Carabao Cup today. Arsenal will be at home to take on West Bromwich Albion. Newcastle will be at the St. James taking on Burnley. And of course, Newport at home against visiting Southampton. Of course, that will be all we have time for on the show today. And join us next time for another edition of KMC Sports. Don't forget to stay tuned to KMC TV. I am Afolabi Kende. Hassan, do have a wonderful day.
I was built to be the best, number one and nothing less. Lead me to my destiny. I have waited patiently. I have vision, though I believe. I know I can count on me. So stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up for the champions.